Well, today I'm super excited to sit down with Dominic Vogel. And by the way, if you don't know him yet, he should definitely be at the top of your list. Now, we're going to sit down, we're having a conversation that really goes, beyond business, beyond the surface level success. And the conversation series that I'm creating here is really to take a listen to humans that are behind the work, behind the doing. Okay. And this is really, really an honor for me because this is the first interview in this series. And I was lucky enough to have Dominic here with us today to kick this off. So, welcome, Dominic.
Oh, Victoria, I'm so honored to be here, to be the first one to kick it off with you. And just thanks for being an amazing human, amazing friend. I'm so excited to have this convo with you.
Oh, well, thank you. We go way back in LinkedIn world, and for some of you that, if you're like me, okay, for some of you that may think, oh my gosh, how do you get to know people? How do you develop relationships? Well, this is how I got to meet Dominic Vogel on LinkedIn. And then, of course, we've had several conversations, right? And we're friends now. And so it's like it's a wonderful thing where I used to be, quite frankly, a little bit of afraid. Because I was so used to you either call someone on the phone or you go like knock on their door when I was with AT&T. So it was different for me to be like, oh, okay, I'm going to comment on a post and then I'm going to have, a DM, direct conversation with someone. But anyways, okay, so enough about that. I just wanted to give everybody like a little bit of a background, but I really want you all to hear from Dom today because he's the one that brings a really thoughtful perspective on relationships and leadership and authentic connections. And so I really wanted to kick it over to you, Dom. And, I'd like to just start off by saying, to you personally, what does being heard really mean?
You know what? That's such a good question, Victoria. I truly believe that being heard, especially in this, I'm just calling it the AI slop era right now, where
Yeah,
everyone is just
yeah.
sort of pumping out very non-authentic messages. Being heard means being heard for who you are, right? Not what AI says that you are, but for who you are, the things that you believe,
I
the things
love
that
that.
make you that you feel passionate about, right? That's what it means to be heard. So those who really are in tune with their inner voice, their inner soul, they're being heard right now because they're rising above the AI slop.
Well, that is a great point. Like you're saying, like so how how do you recommend, like if somebody's struggling with this, like how do they get connected to their inner voice in today's
That
AI world?
Yeah. You know what? There's so much noise right now, Victoria. Right? Especially over the past, I'll say, 15 years or so, as we've seen the rise of social media and different platforms, sort of telling us what to think or what to believe or what have you. We're, as humans, more and more we are not thinking about what it is that makes us happy or the things that
Mhm.
we're passionate about, right? So one of the things that I always tell people is, again, you need to sometimes, just as much as it's making it sound funny, because I rely on platforms like Substack and LinkedIn to get my message out there. But
Right.
before this all started, I tried to really quiet the outside noise, right? And to truly listen to what it is that made me happy, right? And like you, I was in a corporate rat race. That's what I thought I wanted. That's what I was told that I wanted. And then when I stopped and thought, what is it that I want to do? Right? What is it that
Mhm.
why? What is my purpose? Why am I here? And it goes beyond just what I've been trained to do professionally. Right? I'm trained
Mhm.
professionally to be a cybersecurity professional. Is that the stuff that lights up my soul? No, it's not. Not by a long
Mhm.
shot.
Mhm.
And you
Right.
know what? And the stuff that lights up my soul is being someone who spreads joy, right? As you know from LinkedIn, I love leaving funny random comments to make people laugh or smile.
Right.
My goal every day is to make people smile, right? Everything else, right, is ancillary, right? So to me, the thing, like, so when people say, well, how do I get in tune with what it is that I want? Just shut out the outside world, even just for a few hours, right? And
Mhm.
truly sit down, right? And you don't need to be an inner Zen master, but again, just really think about what it is that makes you happy, or like what I like to say is what sets your soul on fire, right?
Mhm.
If money wasn't
Mhm.
an object, or you could just do something, what is it that it would be? And like I said, for
Mhm.
me, I came to that realization that I love meeting people, and I love making people smile, and I love being a bright spot in people's day. So that's how I
Mhm.
approach every single relationship, every single intersection, every interaction I have with someone. It's about making that person's day.
Mm. Well, and you do such a great job with that. I mean, you have so many fans, so many connections, and I can speak for the many people that will, like, we look forward to getting your comments. We look forward to seeing your posts, and I feel that these conversations, these interactions, maybe if you say, like when we're getting to know people on by commenting on posts and having DM conversations, then jumping on Zoom and everything like that. Like, I feel in today's world, like you're talking about with with AI, I feel like these conversations are the things that really create the biggest opportunities for our life and our business. Like, what would you say? Would you agree with that? What do you think?
100%, Victoria. Like it's right now, and again, as powerful as things like AI are, and sure they can be in a very important engine, right? I absolutely use AI tools in the work that I do, right? And that's great, as I know you do as well. That's okay. But when people just rely on just being behind the screen, so to speak,
Right.
you're losing, for lack of a better term, you're losing your humanity. Those
Hmm.
that are truly in touch with their human skills over the next decade, and as transformative as AI is, those that are truly going to be successful, right, in life, and those who are going to be truly be happy, they're those that are going to be able to harness their humanity, their human skills, and be able to, for lack of a better term, intersect that and integrate that with AI. So those that are able to lean into, again, relationship building, right? How they make people feel, the ability to communicate, the ability to lead with kindness and compassion. It is your human skills that is going to set you apart over the next decade. It's not your
Hmm.
ability to be, hey, you know what, I'm a master at, chat GPT prompts or Claude prompts. Great, so are
Hmm.
you and countless other people, right?
Right. Right.
That's not what's going to differentiate you. That's going to become table stakes. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, I'm not trying
Right.
to discount the importance of it, but what's truly going to set people apart, and those who are going to truly be, like I said, successful, are those that harmonize their humanity with the ability to, like I said, to intersect that with AI. And the sad thing is that more and more I'm seeing people, lack of a better term,
Hmm.
lessening and lowering their human skills, right? I'm blown
Right.
away by how poor relationship building skills are, or how more transactional people are becoming, or how our communication skills are lessening, right? I
Hmm.
mean, heck, social media has not done a service to us that way. Our ability to communicate, even in written form, has gone down the drain, right? And
Right.
the ability to communicate in the way in which we're being civil and kind and compassionate and trying to take different viewpoints in, that again is in short supply, right? Heck, we see diplomacy, air quotes, happening through social media, right? We've lost the
Hmm.
ability as humans, right, to be able to communicate, and that's what's one of the things that has set us apart from other species on this planet. So, to me, this is a question I get asked all the time by people. What skills should I invest in? Right? What's going to make me successful over the next decade? And people
Hmm.
always get blown away when I say it's your human skills, right? It's not the
Hmm.
soft stuff, it's the human skills. You truly want to be successful, learn how to communicate to a room of, let's say you're a technical professional, learn to communicate to and present to a group of non-technical professionals, right? Learn to be able to relationship build, learn to be able to know how to leave an impactful presence when you're meeting with people, right? It's that stuff that is going to set you apart.
Hmm. I love that. And, I think that we, probably only have time for one more question with this conversation, because I'd love to have you back and talk more in detail about, some of the, I'm going to say, transformations, or, some of the leadership that you've shared with your clients, whether it be keynoting or working, as what you do in the cybersecurity space. But for our next conversation, I'd like to dive in a lot deeper to that. But I thought for this conversation, I think, allowing people, the ones that don't know you, to, get a glimpse as far as what you're all about. I thought that would be a great, like, conversation starter, if you're okay with that.
Absolutely, Victoria. I hope that I hope to be invited back onto the series many, many times and have many
Yes,
conversations with you.
you are. I'm super excited about that, because you have much to share with the world. And I, like I said, everyone listening to this, if you have not connected with Dominic, before we hang up here, I'm going to ask him how it's best for you to reach him, either on Substack or on LinkedIn. But I am going to close this with one more question, just so that everyone has a chance to get to know you, if that's okay, uh, Dominic, and then we can make sure people know how to get a hold of you. And I
Ask,
guess,
ask away, my friend.
okay, all right. I guess, because I had a whole list of questions, and we'll save the rest of those for the next time, and the next time after that. But I guess, one of the things that comes to mind is, what do you feel is the biggest misunderstanding when it comes to the leadership? And, because people look up to you, right? And they hire you for maybe a keynote, or to work in their, in cybersecurity. What do you feel in today's world is a big misunderstanding?
Oh, I think we lost Victoria there. Oh, there she is.
Oh, yeah, I didn't. I was wondering. Sorry about that. Was something going on with technology? I
Technology
love
gremlin,
technology.
I call him
Yeah.
Victoria. So
Oh, no worries. Yeah. So no worries. And I know we're wrapping up here, but I don't know if you heard my question.
I didn't. You were going down the path, and then all of a sudden the technology gremlins cut in.
Oh
So
my
if
gosh,
you'd be
those
so if you
gremlins.
if you'd be so kind as to repeat the question, I'd be happy to answer it, Victoria.
Of course, yes. No, that's great. And like I said, we already decided we're going to do multiple conversations on here on this series. So the last question for everyone, again, just to get a better look at, what you do and how you think, what's something that you feel is misunderstood with today's thought leadership? Understand there's a lot of pressures. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of noise.
Yeah, yeah.
What's one thing that you feel is really misunderstood?
I I love that question, Victoria. I think the thing that's really misunderstood is that people think that you don't need to be a kind, compassionate human to be a great leader.
Ooh.
There are so many people who cling to, for lack of a better term, I'll say dated leadership
Hmm.
techniques, right? Trying to rule by intimidation or fear, or do as I say type thing. And where we are as a society is that we don't need that type of leadership, right? That type of
No.
leadership is detrimental to the furthering of our race and of our society. We've come to a point in time, and again, we're at a very important inflection point with how AI is going to integrate and be part of our broader society. We need modern leadership, and that's what I refer to as human connected leadership. The best types of leaders, the leaders that we need now more than ever, need to be deeply connected. And I don't mean deeply connected to AI. I mean
Hmm.
deeply connected to themselves. Right? They need to and this, I think maybe brings a full circle to your first question, Victoria. They need to truly understand themselves. And they need to be deeply connected with themselves in order to be deeply connected with those that they lead. And the only way to be able to do that is to be truly harnessing and have truly developed what I refer to as core human traits. And to me, those are kindness, compassion, vulnerability, and authenticity. Right? Those are the types of leadership traits that we need leaders of today and tomorrow to exemplify and to hone and to strengthen, because they need to be able to not just, like I said, inspire people right now. We need to be able to connect, uplift, and unify more so now than ever. And again, only those humans, only those leaders that are deeply connected with again who they are as people are able to successfully do that. And that to me is the bit that's in my opinion, most understood right now. Most people think leaders need to be again cold, calculated, right, unemotional, right, detached from humanity. It's quite the opposite, right? We need leaders who are deeply connected with humanity.
Wow, I love that. That is so impactful, and that is so you, how you approach things. And I am so, again, so grateful to you, Dom, that you were kind enough to kick off this series with me. And on the next time that we meet and have this conversation, I really like to dive in a little bit deeper to some examples of what you've been able to do with different organizations, and things like that, just to give people ideas on how, if they wanted to have you come in, what would be some things that you could do. So with that in mind, thank you, my friend. You're awesome. Uh, I
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, you're the awesome one, Victoria. Believe me, I'm grateful for the platform. I'm grateful to have spent time with you today. And I can't wait for it's like we're going to have a series within the series.
We are.
So
Yes,
I
we
can't
are.
wait for each and every episode, Victoria. It's
Yes.
going to be amazing. And I just love and
I
appreciate you so much.
I'm so excited. I just love you, Dominic. I love everything you stand for. And most importantly, you are helping so many people in the world, and just by your core philosophy. So, how can people connect with you?
I appreciate you asking that, Victoria. So I am on Substack. I'm still early days here, but growing here. So if they want to follow me on Substack, it's at Dopamine Dom. I jokingly call myself the dopamine dealer of LinkedIn.
Yes.
And so the best way to find me is on LinkedIn. I'm the only English speaking Dominic Vogel is a German guy there, but you look up Dominic Vogel, you'll find me on LinkedIn. Or if you want to find me on my website, it's Vogel Leadership coaching.com, and again you can connect with me there as well. But for right now, Victoria, this has been absolutely amazing, and I can't wait for part two and part three and part four and all the other ones that are going to come.
Yes, I can't wait. And thank you. I'm so excited, Dom. Thank you again so much for being here. And I look forward to next time.
As do I, my friend. Thank you again so much.
All right. Take care. All right. Bye
Bye,
bye.
Victoria. Thank you.
Thanks, Dominic. Bye. Thank you.